I was in the Miley Cyrus Party in the USA video, and of course I was expecting this because, like, how are you gonna see background, you know? Like, it's fast. Which is actually part of the story. I'm gonna tell a quick story time here. I'll start with the receipt, but I was actually hired as a featured background player and got cut, pretty much. So receipt number 1, that fro right there is me in the first couple seconds of the video. And additionally, in like these walking shots where she's walking towards the camera, I'm like right behind her. So she's covering me, but if she steps aside, you'll see me obviously bokeh'd out, but I'm like 6 feet behind her the whole time. So let's cover a quick background on the background. I was freshly 18, almost 19 when we shot this, and it was in the Valley. Like, and if you know anything about LA, the Valley is freaking hot. This was the middle of the summer near the Veterans Center, in something that was called a gulch, like something gulch. It was the desert. Hot. Yes, it was very hot. 2-day shoot. So I was hired and matched with a pair. We were actually in a group of pairs, not all of us, but we were featured background, so there was something like 4 pairs, and we were separated from background. I bring this up because it's very interesting. Music videos have a different budget than, say, like a TV show, so they're usually non-union, and there's very little regulations. So since it was a 2-day shoot and it was like 110 degrees in the Valley, I was very grateful to be considered featured background because they treated us like pretty much like the dancers. So we got to hang out in between takes near the trailers, and we were able to get different kinds of crafty, whereas the general background barely got water. It was pretty bad. And that's not Miley Cyrus's fault necessarily, that's on production. So, and she was, I don't even know if she was 18 yet. So for the 2-day shoot, the first day I did absolutely nothing. I was waiting around for my part to be called, and basically they had, like I said, those couples were paired up, and they were gonna have individual little vignettes of like a little scene to play that were gonna get cut in. Mine not only got cut, it never even got shot. So if you've seen the music video, you might know like this part where they're getting out of the trunk at the opening, or this part where the couple jumps up on a truck. Like, that was supposed to be one of my duos. Like, we were all hanging out backstage together. We weren't allowed to be in the general background scenes because we were featured. They didn't want us to look like continuity. You're not supposed to be walking around over here while you're also over here. But my scene never came that first day. They did all the vignettes on the first day and then let the rest of those go. And so I think I worked my way into a second day of work by asking if I could come back and just like be there. Because I was featured, I didn't have to be in the same holding scenes, but I broke away to do those walking scenes. That was the only thing I was in because that was literally the only thing we shot. My best friend at the time, whose name is now Paris, and their neighbor Jegayity are in the video as well. I was hanging out with them because we've been friends for a year since I moved to LA. Also, I was walking around with my partner who got cut from the scene, and I think the reason why we were cut is because we didn't look like a convincing couple. You can see us right here behind Miley. That's me and her. I believe her name was Rachel. And there's a huge height difference. Even though we were hired to be a couple, I just don't think we were selling couple, which is funny because we decided to still walk around like a couple holding hands behind her. Just in case we ended up making out. That was going to be the thing. We were supposed to kiss. Like, that was our feature. But they decided against it, so that's why you don't see a lot of me, but there I am. I didn't expect this to take this much time to tell. I had so much more I was going to say about, like, who was there at the shoot, and more about the conditions, and more about what happened when I found out I was, like, walking right behind Miley Cyrus in the final cuts, like, the club reactions of my friends, Miley Cyrus's parents. I had so much more to say. Let me know if you want a part 2.